So hello and good morning students. I again welcome you to your session of your grammar classes, and again we are continuing with the direct and indirect speech. Okay, now we had already discussed about rule number 1, 2 and 3. We have already done that. Now all those general rules you will have to follow afterwards also. Now suppose changing the narration. Now what do you mean by changing the narration? Again, narration is direct and indirect speech only. Okay, it is one and the same thing. Don't get confused. So changing the narration or changing the voice, it is same only. Now, if you are changing the voice or if you are changing the narration, it depends on the type of sentences. Like there are so many types of sentences. No, statement sentence, you also call it like declarative, wishes, then request sentence, then order sentence, command sentence, interrogative sentences. So there are so many types of sentences. So when you are changing these type of sentences from direct to indirect, again there are so many changes which you have to keep in mind. Okay, so let's discuss one by one. Now suppose the statement sentences, isn't it? Number one, statement sentences or declarative you can say. So statement sentences. Now in statement sentences, introductory that is there. Okay, you have to remember that every time we are using that, isn't it? And suppose like we can see this example. No, Ram said I am going. Okay, so Ram said that he is going, isn't it? So introductory that is there in statement sentences every time it comes. Okay, and said, if there is said to, like two people are talking, Ram said to Harish. Okay, so said to will change into told, isn't it? Told. So these are the changes in statement sentences which we have already discussed, and I think you have done your exercise also. Now let us discuss something more about the other type of sentences. So let us first take uh, as it's given in your book, like declarative sentences. You can take declarative sentences. Now what is there in declarative sentences? Now let us take examples, few examples from your book itself so that you understand it better. Now for example, if I say Rajan said to the teacher, I can take the sick boy to the hospital. So Rajan said to the teacher, I can take the sick boy to the hospital, isn't it? So Rajan said to. It can be changed into told, isn't it? Or Rajan offered to take the sick boy to the hospital. So instead of this, you can also use offered. So there are so many words which you can use, okay, for said to. Now, so in declarative sentences, we can use all these sentences. So as offered, we can also use like na Rajan assured the teacher that he could take the sick boy to the hospital, or Rajan told the teacher that uh, he could take the sick boy to the hospital. So offered, told, okay, assured. So these words can also be used in declarative sentences. sentences. Now we'll discuss some other type of sentences also. Okay. Now, after discussing the first one, that is statement sentence or declarative, now we are doing interrogative or question sentences. So it is one and the same thing. Interrogative sentences and question sentence. Okay, it's only one. Now, for changing these type of questions, you know what happens? You have to remember. Actually, you have to remember three things. Okay, first, the introductory verb is changed. Okay, introductory verb is changed, and it is changed to what? Enquired, asked, or demanded. So these three words you can use for introductory verb when it is changed. Okay, like asked, enquired, or demanded. Now through the example we can understand it better. Okay, so this is the one thing that you have to remember. Secondly, you have to remember that whether and if are also introduced. Use of whether and if. Okay, only one at a time, not both of them. You can't use at the same time, only one at a time. Like if you are using whether, then you don't have to use if. If you are using if, you don't have to use whether. Okay, it's only one. Then thirdly, you have to remember that whenever WH question is there, WH question is there, okay, whether and if you don't have to use. You don't have to use. Don't use whether and if. Okay. So these three things you have to remember. Firstly, introductory verb is changed to ask, enquire, demanded. Okay. Secondly, whether and if is used in interrogative questions, but only with yes, no questions. Yes, no. Isn't it? Where the answer comes in yes and no. Only those. That time you have to use whether and if. But when WH questions are there, you don't have to use whether and if. These three. Now let us see with the example. Okay. For example, if I say like Ram said do you know the way? Now it is interrogative sentence. Okay. Now in this case, what you have to do is that Ram asked. Now starting with do, obviously it is yes no question. Do you know the way? Yes, I know the question. Or no, I don't know the question. Way. So Ram asked. Now your introductory verb will change into asked, inquired, or demanded. So even we can also say Ram inquired. Then whether and if you have to use. So Ram asked if I knew the way. And full stop. You have to write interrogation sign over. You have to write, only full stop will come. And in all the types of sentences, at the end, full stop is going to come. Whether it's exclamatory sentence or any type of sentence, only full stop is going to come. Okay, and inverted commas, you will remove these inverted commas. So Ram asked if I knew the way. Now I can also write Ram inquired whether I knew the way. Even that is correct. Okay. So this, I think you must have understood all these three. Now see, isn't it? Now let us take one more example of WH question. Now suppose if the question is Ram asked what is your name? Okay, Ram asked me, okay, what is your name? So here we will do, now in WH, this is WH question. So we are not going to use whether and if. But then how are we going to do? See, this WH word only. Okay. So Ram asked, same, asked is there already. So Ram asked me what was my name. Okay. Same WH word you are going to use here. Same word. Okay. No whether and if. We are not going to use whether and if. Same WH word. This what you are going to use start with what only. What was my name? This is present tense. We are doing past tense. Okay. See here. The tense is changing. Okay. One step ahead. If it is present tense, past tense we are going to change. If it is past tense, past perfect we are going to change. If it is past perfect, then we are not going to change. This rule you have to apply everywhere. Okay. So I hope it's clear in case of interrogative or question sentences. Okay. Now let us discuss some other type of sentences also. Now let us do the third, that is the third type of sentences, command and request sentences. Now it's very easy to understand what are command. So when somebody is commanding or somebody is giving orders, that is request. When somebody is pleading, please. So request sentences. You also call them imperative sentences as given in your book. So please try to understand it. Now see, command and request sentence. Now in command and request sentence again, the verb is, we change the reporting verb. For example, like if I say Ram said to me, shut the door. Shut the door. Now what type of sentence is it? Is to give order, is it? Shut the door. It's giving order or it's giving command. Okay. So now Ram said to me. So Ram ordered. Okay. Ordered me to shut the door. Now in this we have to remember, see, infinitive. The use of infinitive is there, isn't it? So Ram ordered me to shut the door, or Ram commanded me to shut the door. So this type of, so in command and request sentence you have to remember that reporting verb you have to change into ordered, command, advise, threatened, explore, implore. So all these type of words we can add, and this infinitive is there. So the use of infinitive is there. Okay. So in non-finite verbs you can see. So the doors. Door. Now let us take a few more examples so that you can understand it better. So we'll take examples like I said to the teacher, like I said to the teacher, please explain again. Okay. So I, you can say requested the teacher, use of infinite verb, to explain again. So you have to search for the verb, isn't it? Now here the verb is explain, and here the verb was, see, shut, and to you can only use before verb, isn't it? So to explain again. I requested the teacher to explain again, isn't it? So these two examples are enough for you to understand. If you want, we can take one more example. So let us take one more example, like he said to the students, he said to the students, don't make noise. Isn't it? It's a sentence. He said to the students, don't make noise. Make noise. So, now we can use the word forbade. Forbade means to stop, to say no, isn't it? So, he forbade the students to make noise. Now see, he forbade the students to make noise. Now you're thinking that this is a positive sentence, not to make noise. Actually, he said not to make noise. Okay, but here forbade means what? Forbade itself the meaning is in negative. Okay, that means he forbade means to stop. So he stopped the students to make noise. It means that, okay? So he forbade the students to make noise. Don't get confused in the sentence. Okay, again I'll tell you. He forbade the students to make noise. It means that he stopped the students to make noise. Okay, that means he stopped the students from making noise. So forbade, the meaning is in negative. Okay, so negative, positive. Okay. So I hope you must have understood these three. So the use of again infinitive. And to is before the verb. Okay, so you have to search for the verb and then apply to before it and then you can use. So in these type of sentences, command and request sentence, which are also called imperative sentences. Okay, so introductory verb, this is changed, and even this infinitive here to use it. So I think it's clear with you. Now let us do the fourth type of sentences also. Now lastly we have come to the exclamations and wishes. So exclamatory sentences and wish sentences. This is the last which we are going to cover now. Now exclamatory sentences and wish sentences. For example, if I hooray, we won the match. This is exclamatory sentence. And exclamatory sentences take a sign of exclamation in the end, isn't it? And wish, God bless you. These are type of wishes, no? So may God bless you. So all these are exclamation sentences and wish sentences. Now while changing from direct to indirect in these type of sentences, what you have to keep in mind? You have to keep in mind few things. Again, the introductory verb is changed. Okay, like for example, if I say, you can take one example the students said, hooray, we have won, isn't it? So the students exclaimed, that they have won the match. Isn't it? Now, in exclamatory sentences or exclamations sentences, what is there? You can see this exclamatory sign is there. Now, when doing this indirect sentence, you have to remove this. These exclamatory signs are removed. Okay, and even the exclamatory word is removed. We cannot write this exclamatory word here. In fact, what you have to do is you have to explain this word in the meaning in phrase. Okay, its meaning in the phrase, in the form of a phrase. You have to explain its meaning. And the students said, even this you will have to change into like wished, exclaimed. So all these words you will have to change. So even this will be changed, and this you will omit the word hooray, and in place of this hooray you have to explain this word in the form of a phrase. For example, the students exclaimed that they have won the match. Okay, that they had won the match. Because this is present perfect, so we have to change it into past perfect. And if it was in past perfect, no change, it would remain same. But because it is present perfect, past perfect you are changing. Okay. So the students exclaimed that. Now, in place of exclaimed, we can also write the students exclaimed with joy. No, with happy, because hooray is joy. Now there are so many words, no, like hooray, alas. What is alas? It means sad. Okay. Ram said to Sita, alas, he is dead. So Ram expressed with sorrow, okay, that he is dead or he is no more. So that you can write. So these, the explanations of these words, hooray, alas, okay, you should know. Like even regret and all these words, you should know the meaning of these, and then you will be explaining the meaning of these in the phrases. Okay, you cannot write this word, you have to omit this word in the sentence. So let us see 2-3 examples so that you understand it better. Okay, now let us take some examples. For example, if I say, what a terrible storm it is. What a terrible storm it is. Whole sentence is an exclamatory sentence. Okay, he said. So he said. Now we will be doing he exclaimed, because this is exclamatory sign. So he exclaimed that it was a terrible storm. Now what we did, we removed this exclamatory sign, and this we expressed here. Okay, instead of said, we are writing exclaimed. Isn't it required because it is exclamatory sentence? So you can easily write, he exclaimed that it was a terrible storm. Okay. Now let us take one more sentence as an example so that we understand more. Let us take one more sentence. He said goodbye friends. He said goodbye friends. He said now exclamation sign is there. So he said goodbye friends. So he bade goodbye to his friends. Okay. Now he said God save the king. Suppose he said God save the king. Now what is this? What does this mean? God save the king. You have to remove this exclamatory sign. Okay, in the indirect speech. So what will you do? What is this man doing? He said God save the king. So that means he is praying. So he prayed. Okay. He prayed to save the king. He prayed to save the king. You pray to God only. So we can use these words. So pray, cried. So and obviously we'll be using the past tense of it. We cannot say cry. We cannot say pray. Okay, he prayed because it's past tense. So said. So he prayed. See, he said. So he bade goodbye to his friends. So this type you have to. So you have to. What you have to do in exclamatory and which sentences, that you have to remove. If there is an exclamatory sign, you have to remove that sign. Okay. And if there is any word of like alas, hooray, all these type of words, you have to again remove those particular words, and you have to explain the meaning of that word in the form of a phrase in your indirect speech. So these things you have to remember and then do it. I think you must have understood. So thank you.